You can even tell the girl, hey, I actually got to get going, but blah 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 blah. I would encourage you to stay in the interaction another 3 to 5 minutes, even if you got to go. Even if you got to go, stay in the fucking interaction. Okay. Um, it really does go a long way, bro. When you start the interaction and you're communicating with a person, you're literally a stranger. Okay. Vibe starts going well. You know, you have good conversation. It's a little bit of back and forth. You're connecting with the person, whether this is a guy or a girl. At a certain point, there's a number exchange. Okay. There's a number exchange, assuming it went well. In this case, we're going over instances where it did go well, right? There's a number exchange. I would say a big problem that most men make, myself included, is at a certain point, though, shortly after the number or almost immediately after the number exchange, guys have a tendency of leaving the interaction and running away with the number as if it's like a trophy. Okay. It could either be out of nervousness, or they genuinely need to leave, or they just don't know what the fuck to do at that point, or they actually think it's the right thing to do. They almost think it would be weird for them to stay in the interaction at that point. Ironically enough, all of those things are wrong. All of that theory is actually incorrect. The best thing, the most important thing you should do is stay in the interaction, because that's the most vital time for the conversation. Because up until the point of the number exchange, we've literally just been interacting as strangers. Once we've exchanged numbers and it's been agreed upon, any conversation after that point, we are now communicating man to woman in an agreed upon circumstance that we're going to see each other again. Okay, so it's literally up until that point. Like, once that moment has changed where the number has already been exchanged, that's why that is such a vital time for conversation to continue. You have a lot of bonus time right now where I can communicate with the girl already under the circumstances of, hey, we're at the very least, we're like intrigued or open to the idea of meeting up again. So we exchange numbers. And that's where we're starting the conversation at that point. So, Zach, you could see why that could be a very beneficial time to stay in communication. Another thing you could be doing is be a little challenging and a little bit skeptical and a little teasing and a little playful at that point, now that I already have the number. Okay, so let's talk about these things. How could I be a little bit challenging? Well, if we were already talking about, a little bit about the girl, at this point, I could say, so like, let's just say we were on campus, we were talking for a little bit, blah, 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 blah. Now I could be like, so like, tell me something about you I wouldn't expect. Okay. It's not like super challenging, but it's deeper than that surface level conversation. Most likely you guys are staying at very surface level conversation, especially if you're having short interactions, if you're getting flaky numbers, you're getting into the interaction, but it's staying at that surface level. Just being a little different with the communication at that point, right? You can, at this point, I could be like, so like, what's something interesting about you? Or so like, what's something about Jessica that I wouldn't expect? Or anything on those lines. Okay. Because it's different than, hey, how's your day going? Oh, it's good. How's the weather? Blah, blah, blah. Oh, so what are you going to school for? Oh, this is my major. Oh, I do this. Blah, 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 blah. That's very bland communication. Okay. And if you look like a good dude and you have decent conversational skills and you actually open the girl and maybe even displayed a little bit of intent, that will carry a conversation. But if you want to make a memorable, lasting impression, if you genuinely want to connect with the girl on a level that's like outside of that politically correct realm, like taking the political correct mask off, if you will, I like to ask something like that. Or I'll even talk about a topic about myself that's already outside of the norm. I may even do that first and then talk, and then put the microphone back on her to like present something with, like, let's say we're just talking, we're talking about our day, this and that, blah, 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 blah. And then at some point I tell something about myself, right? I was like, yeah, I was actually, I don't know, I was just in a really social mood today. So like, I just came up to talk to you because lately I've been getting more into like self-development and stuff. And she's like, yeah, you should talk to more people on campus, blah, 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 blah. But like, yeah, actually, believe it or not, I was like really shy and antisocial like throughout high school and even into like the beginning of college. Like I was like really nervous, shy. I never even went to like my high school prom. And like, I've been really trying to like push myself out of my comfort zone as of late. So like, I don't know, I'm like into like self-development mode. I can't even believe I'm fucking like telling you this. Kind of weird even like talking about it, blah, 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 blah. So I say something like that, right? And now she says a little bit of back and forth. And now I can be like, yeah, so like, I don't know, tell me something about you. Like, what's something about Jessica that like I wouldn't really expect? And now she's going to be really inclined to actually tell me something like that because I already disclosed. It wasn't like I like spilled my life story. I'm not telling you guys to go on some epic rant, but it's okay to say something that's below that surface level. And I even threw in that little line right there. I was like, I just snuck it in. I was like, I can't even believe I'm telling you this. Like, I usually don't talk about this. Of course I talk about this. I fucking made a career off of this shit. But by saying that little line, it really puts it plants the seed in the other person's mind of like, wow, he's disclosing something to me that it doesn't really sound like he talks about that much. And by saying that, it actually provokes a little bit more trust in the listener. It actually makes the person listening feel like this dude wouldn't judge me if I told him something because he's disclosing information to me. Okay, so that little line, you can even write that line down if you want. I can't believe I'm telling you this. I usually don't talk about things like this or blah, 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 blah. Right? That little piece goes a long, long way. Even though it's very subtle, it can be very powerful. And you can see why that can be powerful. And now, before you know it, you have the girl disclosing something about her, right? And then she tells me, I don't know, she could say whatever, right? She could say whatever she wants. Hopefully she says something cool that I like or that I'm genuinely intrigued about. I could even dig deeper onto that thing. Before you know it, we're at a very deep level of conversation that's way beyond just talking about the weather or about class, okay? And now when we connect on that thing, it actually makes more sense now for me to want to hang out with her again. You know what I'm saying? So we connect on that thing. She talks this and that, blah, blah, blah. Later on, I'm like, wow, I can't believe you were like, I don't know. I would have never guessed like that was the reason you wanted to be a nurse. Like just due to all those family experiences and like wanting to help your grandma. Like, yo, that's so, I don't know. That's so cool. And like, you know what I like about you? Like that's so genuine. I feel like that's so rare in like today's society. Everybody, like, I don't know. I wouldn't have guessed that we would be able to connect on that. Like that's really cool. Okay. That's like, there's a reason now for me to like, if I were to message her later on and be like, yo, I'm intrigued to get to know you more. Or like after connecting with you, I'm intrigued to meet you more.
Right.
When you only have surface level communication though, that message doesn't really resonate with the girl. If I actually had that conversation back and forth that I just hypothetically made up with a girl, and then I send her that text message, she'll actually believe that and it would resonate with her because she felt that in the in-person interaction. But if we're just talking about surface level shit, that's why the girl's like, I don't know. Maybe she goes ghost. Maybe she doesn't respond at all. There wasn't a memorable enough conversation there for it actually to take it somewhere. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. And by the way, if you want to work with me personally to implement any of the techniques in this video to become more socially confident, get more women in your life, build a bigger social circle, and really just dominate life in any aspect socially, I can help you with that. I'm the guy for that, okay? Been doing this for a long time. I've transformed myself going from a video game nerd loser to becoming one of the top guys in the industry with this stuff, okay? So if you're interested in working with me personally, click the link below, click the link in the description, fill out the application, and we will be contacting you to discuss further details. Until next time, Coach Kyle signing out. Peace.